All right, so we are going to look at some more interesting elimination problems that involve a little more work. But again, like I said, it's one of my favorite methods, so I think you'll agree. You'll notice on example 5, remember the coefficients have to be lined up, the x's and the y's, and they have to be opposite. Well, we don't really have opposites, but we can easily make this opposite if we take the bottom one, right, and multiply that by 5, okay? So I'm going to leave the top one alone, right? Then I'm going to take the bottom one, multiply that by 5, and you'll notice, you'll see I'm going to be canceling out the x's in a second, okay? Make sure you distribute that 5 throughout the problem. So that's going to be positive 30y, and then 5 times 3 is 15. So make sure when you do this, you're going to multiply everything. Okay, that's the trick. Now the x's are going to cancel out, right? We got negative 9, so what is that? 30, that's 21y equals 16 and 4, 21. So obviously y is going to be 1, right? All right, remember it's the y, ordered pair. So put it in its proper place. Now you can plug in your y, and either equation does not matter. All right, so why not the top? So I'm going to plug negative 1 into y right here. Okay, so we got 5x minus 9 times 1, right, equals 6. Okay, so we got 5x minus 9 equals 6. I'm going to add 9 to 6, right? So 5x is going to equal 9 and 6 is 15, right? Divide out 5, and x is 3. Okay, a little more work, but again, I think it was worth it. Number 6, you'll notice they're lined up again. However, I cannot cancel them out right away. So I have to make one of them opposite. So your choice is either the x or the y. Now the x is going to take a little work because we're going to have to get a common denominator and multiply it by both. But if you look at the bottom one, and if you cancel out the y, you'll have to multiply everything by 3, right? So we'll take this and multiply everything by 3. So let's rewrite the top one, right? 4x plus 15y equals 17, right? And then I'm going to multiply the bottom one by 3, okay? So that's going to make this 6 is going to make this negative 18x, okay? 3 times 5 is going to be negative 15y. And then 3 times 27 will be, what is that? 81, okay? And then what I'm going to do is add the system, right? Okay. Again, the reason I'm going to add is that the 15s are going to cancel out, right? So let's say goodbye to them. Then I'm going to get 4x minus 18x is going to give me a negative 14x. Equals 81 and 17 will give me 98. Now, divide, and x is going to equal what? Negative 7. Okay. So part of my ordered pair here is going to be negative 7, the x value. Let's find the y value. Now you've got multiple choices here. I always like to stick to the one that I kind of didn't mess around with. So I am going to go ahead and plug this into the top one. So let's go down here. I'm going to plug negative 7 into x, okay? That's going to give me 4 times negative 7, right? Plus 15y equals 17. And then I'm going to work that fairly simple problem out. So what's that? Negative 28 plus 15y equals 17. Add 28 to both sides. And then I get 15y equals 28. 17 is what? 8, 45, right? Divide by 15. Y equals 3. And there is my ordered pair. All right. Now, we've got a very interesting one coming up for the next one. Number 7. All right. So, if you look at number 7, right, you got 10 and 7. Well, I don't know. First of all, they're not opposite, okay? But if you look at the second one, you at least have opposite coefficients. You have a 2 and a 9, okay? So what you could do is, to make them opposite, you're going to have to multiply each one by a number. So I'm going to have to multiply the top by 9, which is going to make that 218, and the bottom by 2, I'm sorry, the y. So the y will be 18, and if I do the bottom one by 2, it would be negative 18, and you're going to cancel out your y's. Okay, so we got a little work ahead of us, but it's going to go pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and multiply the top by 9, so you're going to get 90x, right? Plus 18y. Okay, 9 times 14, you bust those calculators out, guys, is 126. All right, now I'm going to multiply the bottom by 2. Now again, just be careful with your work, because you're multiplying everything by 2. And if you do this correctly, you will notice that one of them is going to cancel, all right? 2 by negative 11 is a negative 22, okay? So what am I going to do again? I'm going to add the system to cancel out the y's. So 90 and 14 is going to give me 104x equals 126, right? And negative 22 is going to give me 104. All right, and you already know your answer here. X is 1. All right, so that's part of my ordered pair. X is 1. What are we going to plug it into? Again, I like to plug it into something that has not been rearranged. So I go back to the original problem and just do the top one. So that's 10 times 1 plus 2y equals 14. Okay. So then I've got 10 plus 2y equals 14. Subtract 10. And then when do we get 2y equals 4? Divide by 2. And y is 2. There's my ordered pair. Alright, my last one. Now this one's a doozy. Okay? So if you'll notice on example 8, nothing is lined up, right? So you're going to have to, there's various ways to do this, okay? So kind of what I did is I'll notice on the bottom one, you already have your letters on one side. They're not like all the other ones, but still the letters are on one side, okay? So what I'm going to do is I am going to take 21x and negative 39, and I'm just going to switch them around, okay? So if I take 39 minus, so I'll have to add it. So again, whoops. So I'm going to take that and switch them around. See what it looks like. So I have 39 equals 30y. And then 21, I'll have to minus it. So I got negative 21x. Now, I know they're not in order, but as long as you keep them lined up, that's fine. And then all you have to do is rewrite the second one, right? And then you have the start of a problem, okay? Now you're going to have to decide which one you want to cancel out. Do you want to cancel out the top or the bottom, right? So what I did, I think my choice is going to be to multiply that bottom one by negative 7. And if I do that, negative 7 times negative 3 would be positive 21. So let's try that. Again, you could have done it with the y's, right? So it's your choice. So I'm going to rewrite the first one. Okay. All right, and then negative, so that's going to be what? Negative 21 equals negative 21y plus 21x. So you'll notice your x's cancel out, right? Which would give me, what, 18 equals 9y. Divide out. Y is 2. All right, so remember an ordered pair, right? Y is 2. Okay, we're going to have to solve for x. Your choice. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that bottom equation, right, and plug in 2 for y. So that's going to give me 3 times 3 times 2 minus 3x. Okay. So that's going to give me a 6. All right. And I'm going to subtract the 6. Okay. Negative 3 equals negative 3x. Divide by negative 3. And x will give me 1. And I am done. So that's about as hard as they get. Remember, you had to switch all the variables, find a common number. So that's kind of the most, that's probably the hardest one you're going to get, okay? All right.